Alright, well, I just got up here to Jaden's house. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but he's been doing this on his channel. This is another build for Moab Grand Tours. He's also starting a YouTube channel too, so it's pretty cool. But he's doing a ton of work to this. He's cut the whole roof off, the old roof's over there. So he cut the whole roof off, redid the whole roof line, doing all the wiring, all the plumbing, axles, links, suspension, everything.
Everything except for the lower half of the chassis getting redone.
Yeah, a lot of work. And we want to get this thing out and go wheeling. So he called me and I came up here for the weekend. We're just going to knock out as much as we can. Hopefully in this video we're going to get it running and get wheels and tires on it, coilovers in it, and just kind of get it sitting here and go through and just basically put stuff together that's not together. I don't know exactly.
The majority of the little tedious stuff's done.
But so since I'm his good friend, the first job I get is wrapping the exhaust. So
I've been waiting all week for you to come do that.
Every time we're on the phone, he's like, "Hey, when are you gonna come wrap this exhaust?" So I guess that's the first thing I'm gonna work on. All right, so like I said, the first thing I'm doing is I'm just gonna get the exhaust wrapped. So if you guys have ever done this stuff before, you know it's not very fun. But a tip to make it a little bit easier is you take the whole roll and you soak it in some warm water. Alright, so me and Jaden, we took a break from working. We're taking a cruise. We just went and got some food and
well, I accidentally bumped my straw when I went to pick it up and put it through the side
of the side of his cup. So
I really want this drink.
I'll give you $5 to stick a straw in that and drink it.
Nope. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Come on.
I ain't that broke.
You gonna give me $5 if I do it?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh man. We're just on our way back to the shop now, but figured I'd just show you guys our struggles. So yeah, we got some pizza and
this stuff happens a lot more than you guys can imagine.
Oh, there's so much stuff that we just don't show, but so figured we'd throw in a little bit of our daily life here.
Your whole life's a struggle.
Oh boy. Back to the shop and we're gonna have some pizza and get back to work. Okay, so as you guys saw, I got the exhaust mostly wrapped up.
Hey, where's my drink?
First one I did is right here. The second one turned out a lot better, but that's all right.
Where's my drink going?
It's in the cup holder of the Explorer.
Why is it in there?
I was kidding.
What is it?
I don't know. But so we got 3 rolls of wrap. I used a roll on each one of those and I had about 2 feet left over. So now I'm gonna just wrap the headers and see how much of them I can get wrapped. Hopefully I can get the whole thing wrapped. I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty close, but get these headers pulled off and start wrapping those, and then I can get the full exhaust put into this thing. And then as you guys saw from that little clip, Jaden's been doing wiring, so all that stuff's working good. And
my straw ain't going through the side of this cup.
He got a new cup to prevent mishaps. So and this is how we've been tightening these clamps. I don't know the right way to do it. I'm sure we could Google it and figure it out, but what we're doing is putting it on there and then find your most expensive. In this case we got a snap-on extension. Cut it in half and put a notch in it.
It works pretty good.
Make sure it's your most expensive extension or it's not gonna work. But then we put it in there and hold it. Then we start twisting it. Make sure you twist it away or it'll just wrap around and break it. Just twist it away from there. And then once we get that, there's a little ball in here that keeps it. So
if you go too far,
here.
It'll pull it out.
Yeah. And we just tap that ball in. So that way this can't come out. And then we take it and fold it back over itself and then whack it with a hammer again.
See, I don't know if you need to do that. It's just an extra safety.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I hate your camera.
just like that. And that seems to be working for us. So I don't know. Like I said on mine, I used hose clamps, but when you're doing something like a big muffler like this, we tie 3 of them together. It works good for that. But if you're wrapping a straight pipe and you're just doing it like this, I'd recommend just going and get 2 hose clamps. You can put a hose clamps on each side because that works really well. So
Someone forgot to weld that?
weld that up, yeah. Well, get back to work.
Look at that, buddy.
I know I said I was wrapping the exhaust, but Jaden's over here wrapping it, so I figured I'd turn on the camera so you guys could see him do some work. Super rare occasion here, so.
Hey, the hardest worker you know.
Alright, back to time lapse, because this stuff's boring.
Little bit nervous.
That's all good.
Okay, plugs are on over here. Exhaust is on. We're just waiting on like usual. We'll try to clean up.
Hey!
Not my video. See here.
Give me a hand to pull this up.
Hopefully not gear because then the red ones are hooked up.
Alright, so we just got the exhaust in, and Jaden says this thing's ready to fire up.
You want to do it live right now on camera?
This is the first time ever. We haven't tried at all. The only thing we've done is bump the starter to see if the switch works.
I never
And
drained
that was
it.
before we put gas in it. And we just put gas in it. We haven't tried anything yet, so.
I never drained any of the oil out. I'm checking it just to be sure. Okay, here we go. No way. That's kind of loud up here. Kind of weird. Oh, that's fine.
That's a good sounding motor.
It's loud still.
Yeah, it's loud.
Still loud. Where are we over there? Come on here.
I'm steaming.
You don't seem to hesitate. Don't step in the way on this step off. It looks like it's on fire in there.
Well, a lot of it's just water too.
Water,
But
happening. Yeah, it started right up.
I wasn't here for a lot of the work, but that's pretty rewarding.
What's that pumping noise though? Can you hear it? It's like a.
I don't know, probably a pump.
It's kind of loud though, ain't it? Like.
Sounds alright.
Should we call and see what Travis has to say? See if we can get Travis on the phone. This is the owner, if you guys don't know.
Yeah.
And he's excited to hear it, so. Hey! What? So, it started.
Well, cool.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Get
All right, well, I just got this hub all put together. I think it feels super good. We got the bearing changed out in there. We didn't film any of that because me and Jaden were both working at it. We took the torch to it and stuff. So we got it. Jaden's getting the side put together. So, if you've never put these axles together, they're kind of fun. Not. They have a nut with a little bump on them. You have to line it up perfectly and then key a washer into it and then put another locking nut on it.
You have to have a special socket.
Yeah, you have to get these special sockets for them. But it's been a while since I worked on one of these, so it took me a minute to remember how it went back together, but
There's a lot of people out there that love these axles.
yeah, this is like the go-to axle for a lot of people.
But if it was me, oops, sorry.
No, that's
But if it was me, I would just go get you an 05 or newer Super Duty.
yeah.
You can put, the biggest difference on the newer axles is this C right here.
Yeah.
It's got a bigger spread width in it. So you can take the 1480 factory shaft, and it's actually considered like a F550 shaft, but it's got a 1550 U-joint in there. So you get more turning radius out of it and everything that
And
way.
that's what me and Jaden are running in the front of our buggies. Is a Super 60 with F450 1550 axle shaft. So,
You got the Sterling.
and I have a Sterling 10.5 in the rear. He's got a 14 bolt, but there's really not much of a difference there. 14 bolts are a lot easier to work on, and
Tougher too.
they're a little bit tougher as well. Yeah, but I haven't had a problem with mine yet, so knock on wood. But super strong. We don't even have chrome moly shafts or anything. These, you can make them really strong, but it's a lot more expensive and a lot of work. So there's benefits to both of them. Okay, so we just got that all done. Put the brakes on everything. So what he opted to go with for this is, these are some, are they 16s?
Yes.
16-inch 2.5 King coilovers. Pretty much the best of the best you can get. So thing's gonna ride like a dream. But I think the next thing we're gonna start doing is get coils in there. Over there we got a bunch of boxes. They all have iBox springs in them. Super, super nice parts. So
We're not 100% sure. I kind of guessed the spring weight off of my buggy, but mine's got 8 inches up and 8 inches down. This one's gonna have 5 and 11, 5 up, 11 down. Just the way the chassis was designed. We can't get all the up trail out of this one, so we don't want it riding real high. But I got pretty much 2 sets of coils over here, so hopefully something will work. If it don't, we're gonna have to send them back and get some new ones. So it's part. If you guys order shocks or coils through AccuTune, they have an exchange program where you can exchange them if they're not right. They're really cool, quick. I think it's like a 2 or 3 day shipping. So.
all right, and we got all the springs out, so we're just gonna start putting them on. Jaden went in a little bit more depth on spring rate and all that kind of stuff and how the coilovers actually work. So if you do want to know more about that, then he did explain it a little bit better on his channel.
Really.
So
I don't know it that great.
we're not professionals, but just a little bit more of a explanation. So
We're learning.
yeah, we're trying to figure it out too. But yeah, I'm just gonna set up another time lapse and start putting it back together. So
Look at these bad boys. Don't get the plastic off. Don't scratch these or Travis will kick your ass.
these are some nice coilovers.
I was so scared, dude. I taped them all up and left the plastic on it for mock-up. And it's coming off now, so maybe. I really taped them up. What was that? Tag?
Yeah.
What is that, loose?
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny. We'll maybe leave that one on there.
Yeah. What? Time lapse. All right, so as you can see, shop looks a little bit different. You can actually walk from one side to the other without tripping on garbage, and a buggy is the biggest thing that's not in here. That's because we pushed it outside.
That's because it's done.
That's because it's done. Woo, yeah. No, it's nowhere near being done. But
hey, it's closer than it was yesterday.
it is closer than it was yesterday. It looks done, besides paneling and stuff like that. But there's still a lot of stuff that goes on here. But this thing, as you can see, we got some straps just holding it down to ride height, because there is a lot of weight that's not on it yet. You know, like panels, seats, fluids, a bunch of stuff like that. Driver, passenger. So this is or Jaden's estimated ride height. I didn't do any of the calculations, but this is estimated ride height for it, which I think looks perfect. So
I would like it to be lower.
yeah, I really like low buggies for sure. But
So a lot of your comp buggies will run 2 inches of up travel.
yeah,
Some even less.
but on this one to run what, 5?
5 to 6. So that way you can still kind of cruise through the trails. 5 or 6 inches with bump stops should be fairly good. Like I run 8, and 8's a lot. Like I can Baja Owen seen it like a trophy truck.
Yeah. I mean, my Blazer only has 3 inches of up travel in the front. Does awesome for rock crawling, especially it's only got a 10-inch coilover. So I want as much down travel as I could. So I went with 3 inches of up travel, and these guys will leave me in the dust because they just handle better. Mine handles good up to about like 10, 15, 20 miles an hour on small bumps.
I'll go about 65.
Yeah, once you start pushing it a little bit more, you really need more up travel. So I actually want to redo a little bit of mine and see if I can squeeze a little bit more up travel with keeping the same ride height. But I think it's perfect setup. 16-inch coilovers, 5 inches of up travel. That'll be, what, 11 inches of down travel.
Oh, yeah,
so
you'll still have to go somewhat fast, but it'll have a lot of the down travel where your axle can grab and pull you over. So
yeah, that's why, like, when he's going and he kind of bellies out on stuff, the reason you want more down travel is because when you belly out on stuff, your axle can fall, and all of your unsprung weight can drag you over. But when you don't have that much down travel, you can, you know. So you have a, what, 20-inch belly clearance, and then you have 8 inches of ground clearance. So if you have
8 inches of down travel.
Yeah, 8 inches of down travel. So if he bellies out on a 30-inch rock, all of his tires are off the ground pretty much. Where if you had 16 inches of down travel, it'd be a, you know, bigger rock, obviously. That's why they do it, but
She's over here.
yeah, so we're gonna get this thing pulled back into the shop and keep working on it. I think we're gonna start working on diff covers and rear suck down winch first. So let's get it pulled back in the shop. All right, well, Jaden's over here putting together a diff cover puzzle.
Diff puzzle.
I'm gonna pull apart the rear end because the pinion kind of feels pretty loose. So we're just gonna pull it apart and see if it needs anything. So if it does need something, we can pull it. We can get it ordered in time.
Or hopefully someone will have it in stock.
Yeah, or somewhere we'll have it. We can go get it tomorrow. But just gonna get it pulled apart, check everything, make sure it's all looking good, and then
Look at the little eagle head.
little eagle head. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
McGee Fab diff covers right there. Super cool stuff. But I'm just gonna get this pulled apart. So super simple. Just pull the diff cover off and look at it pretty much, and then probably pull the pinion out. So get to it. Okay, so I just got this differential all torn apart. So the pinion's loose, and it doesn't have a crush washer here. It's got the different style pinion that uses shims instead of a crush sleeve. So we'll need to get shims for that to tighten up the play in that. And then also the carrier, when I unbolted it, it just fell out. It's supposed to have quite a bit of preload in there, So we're gonna have to get some shims for that, tighten up the mesh a little bit. So we're basically gonna have to reset these gears. I mean, probably would have been fine, but
It had a lot of slop.
it's got quite a bit of slop, and it'll just beat these gears to death, and eventually it'll break them. So,
And the pinion seal is leaking.
and the pinion seal is leaking, so we gotta pull it apart anyway. So we're gonna see what we can do,
Show
see
the
if we
oil.
can get it. Oh, and
Water.
the
More
oil
water than oil.
is so it was leaking out the pinion. I'm guessing someone went through some deep water with this and got some water in there. This is not what gear oil is supposed to look like, just so you know. It is awful, and it was extremely low. So a combination of all these things, this rear end is gonna beat itself to death. So we're gonna get this fixed up, but we're not gonna be able to do it tonight. We're gonna have to go see what we can find for the parts and stuff tomorrow. So move on to something else for tonight. Alright, Jaden's over there welding up the diff covers. I'm going to start changing out the winch cable. So we got a new one right here because this one's pretty torn up. It's been seen some use. So I'm just going to start pulling this out. And the winch isn't actually wired up right now, so I'll just get this winch cable off and then we'll wire up a winch switch and spool in the new cable. Alright, well, Jaden got the diff cover, one of them done. I think I'm going to weld up the other one tomorrow, so you guys can decide who's got the better welds, I guess.
Contest now, huh?
I guess so. So, I guess we'll have a
You
voting.
see mine? Looks good.
We'll show it tomorrow, and we'll show them together. But it does look really good, I'll show you. Get a little bit of light in there. Pretty dang good welds all the way around. A lot of welding goes into that thing. But.
Super hot.
So, when we left off, I was putting a new winch line on the winch and we were wiring it in and we can't get the thing to work. So we pulled it apart, everything looks fine, and all the diagrams we found, everything looks great. So, we'll play with that more tomorrow. But for right now, we're gonna head in and spend some time with the wives and come back out and keep working on it tomorrow. So, it is tomorrow. Alright, so it's the next day and we got out here and we were just messing with the winch. We pulled it all apart and just cleaned it up. Cleaned up all the brushes and stuff on the inside, and we did get it working. So it's working. Jaden's just finishing up the wires on the inside. Show you that. Just getting the switch, toggle switch in here so you can have your winch controls inside the cab, which is super nice for the suck down winch and when you're out wheeling. So you use 90% of the time you're inside the cab anyway, so that's just the best way we found to do it. Okay, we got the winch all put together as you guys saw. Round a new cable on it, so that's all good to go. Jaden's messing with grill and headlights and stuff. I'm probably gonna go over here and start welding up this diff cover.
You must have a contest.
It's not a contest. But
What is it then, huh?
that one's Jaden's. Here's this one. It's already all tacked up. Jaden got that all tacked up for me. So all I gotta do is
You're welcome.
weld it up. See? What a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start welding. Huh?
Freaking puzzle, man.
Puzzle? Yeah. Differential puzzles. Alright, and there's the diff covers all welded up. I didn't weld the emblem on because we're building a winch mount off of the back of this somehow. So we don't know exactly where that's going to go. Maybe we'll put that on somewhere else. But they're pretty much identical. I mean, I don't think there's a winner or a loser here. They're both awesome looking. So, and once they're hot, just spray them down with WD-40 and you get this sweet finish. And that's just how we're gonna leave them. So, super happy with how that turned out. I think we're gonna throw the front one on now, and this one's still scorching hot. So we're gonna let that one cool down, and we still got that stuff to deal with. But yeah, get the front div cover on. Alright, so I'm just getting this front diff cover off so we can throw on the new one that Jaden welded up. So hopefully the fluid's a little bit better in the front. The back one was mostly water, which does not work very good as gear oil.
I can't believe it still had these little cheap tin diff covers on it. The rest of the shit.
I think if you take the wheels off that other set on this side, these tires, put these wheels on another tire, they'll look better on that.
Alright, so we threw the rear diff cover on there, and now I'm going to work on building a plate for the rear suck down winch. We're going to mount it off of the diff cover itself because there's not enough room to mount it on top of the axle. So we got this traced out roughly on what we're going to need, so I'm going to go ahead and drill all these holes out and just cut this out with the angle grinder. Alright, well, I've been getting this, so I've got it all bent up and just kind of tacked together and fit it up. I think this is going to work awesome, so I'm going to go ahead and weld this up, and then I'll tack it to the diff cover and fully weld it to it. Jaden's working on taillights and everything, getting the rear panel mounted. So,
Fun.
making some progress.
All this little stuff that takes all your time.
Yeah, last 10% of a project's 90% of the work, and it's stuff you don't even see. So Jaden's been working on this thing for a long time,
That's the stuff you don't see. All
yeah, grinding
designing,
and painting and design time, and it's a lot of work, but we're getting some progress done. So stop talking and just keep working, see how much we can get done on this thing. Okay, and that's all welded up. I think it turned out pretty dang good. It's a nice winch plate, and then you can get to the bolt there. So super simple. Put a little logo on there. He's the guy who actually cut these diff covers out, but we threw those on there and got a fairlead mount built. Jaden had the idea of using that. It was like a piece from the fairlead that came with the winch, and we notched it out, or Jaden notched it out and I welded it on. So if it falls off, it's my fault, but it shouldn't. But we're gonna get this on, then we can actually test out the suck down. Alright, let's see if this works or rips it off.
You like our test thingy over here?
Yeah, we're just it's not wired in yet.
Oh, we're backwards. Hold on.
Cut.
Why is it backwards? We never switched these, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Idiots.
it just ripped the sheathing off. Don't matter, I guess.
What was that?
Battery cable.
She works.
It sucks it down. Had to tension up the rope a little bit. That's why it took so long, and then the sheathing was just sewn onto the rope and it just came off. Not a big deal. So it works. I think that's gonna be super cool. I don't think it's gonna be used very often.
I bet it gets used a lot.
You think so?
Going down that hot tub. Travis likes to go down in that hot tub.
Yeah. So in case you guys didn't know, the rear suck down winch is when you're going down a hill, and then the front suck down winch is when you're going up a hill. Just compresses the springs so they don't unload on you and dump you over. It just makes it a lot more stable. So me and Jaden don't have a rear suck down winch. You just hit the throttle when you hit the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
when you don't have one. But it is a pretty cool addition, and it should work out good. So
Well, I put one on mine.
yeah, I think it'd be fun to put one on the Blazer. I have a little winch.
How far out do you go for a level?
I don't know, about 5 inches. That's too much, I think.
Oh,
Maybe that's close, I don't know.
close, you know.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Looks pretty dang good.
You start cutting. I'm bad out bad.
You good?
You good?
Yeah. Alright, so we're starting to work on bump stops now. You saw that we placed them, but we made some cardboard templates. That's how I always like to build stuff, because cardboard, it's about 1/4 inch thick, and when you build out a 1/4 inch plate, it just works out pretty well, and it's super easy and cheap because everything comes in a box. So we just got it traced on some 1/4 inch plate. We're just going to cut it out. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit oversized, so we can grind it and get it to fit perfectly. And we tried to match both sides the best we could, but it's so different with the differential being there. They're as close as they are going to be together, and I think it's going to work really good. So we're just going to get these cut out. Yay! Yay! Yeah, see? Yay! This piece of metal right here is about an hour's worth of work.
Got it.
Should have been doing that. Alright, so
So what? So
towards the end, we kind of stopped filming a little bit. I tried to film as much as I could, but Jaden was welding. I was building cardboard templates and cutting it out and making stuff fit, and he was welding. We were both just going on the front end of this thing, trying to get everything done, so didn't really get much video done, but I'll show you what we came up with. So, got the bump stops mounted. Well, Jaden did these ones pretty much.
it's kind of hard. We had to weld over. If you guys are curious, straight argon, it will weld, but it welds like, looks like a bird flew in here and on it. So don't do it.
Yeah, we went and we ran out of argon. We run a argon CO2 mix 75-25, and we had a bottle of pure argon sitting around, so we threw that on here, and it works, but
Not good. At all.
you can weld with it, but it's more expensive and it welds worse. So we just figured we'd wait and get another bottle of argon when the shops opened up. So yeah, it turned out pretty sweet. These are the bump pads. A lot of thought went.
Wet thing.
Well, now my handprint's in it, so. Alright, we've been working on this thing for a while, but a lot of thought went into these things because there's 16 inches of flex in this, and you gotta make sure it hits and doesn't hit this and bottoms this out before it bottoms that out. But hopefully we got it right, because they're not coming off. They're welded on there strong. So, well, Jaden's probably gonna flex test this. I don't know if I'll be here, but flex it out, make sure everything works before we actually go trail riding with it. But the other side was a little bit different because we had to build it up a little taller, just because the differential's not there. Capped on the front and back, all 1/4 inch plate, so super strong. You know, Jaden got a little hook built for that, for the suck down winch.
I wish I could afford to put some of those on mine.
What?
Bumps.
Oh, the bumps.
They're sweet.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They just look cool.
I know. I want some in the front of mine because it has 3 inches of up travel. So it'd have an inch of up travel and then 2 inches of bump stop, which I think would help it ride a little bit better. But what I really want to do is just get a longer coilover and just have a little bit more down travel on it. But yeah, so that's probably going to be the end of this video. We did a lot of work. Probably doesn't really look like it, but has come a long way in the past 2 days. Rear winch, diff covers, bunch of wiring. So yes, thank you guys for watching. I don't know what my next video is going to be about. Probably something on the Blazer. I have a couple plans on stuff on that, but I think we're going to go take this out in a week or two, and I'll bring the Blazer out and we'll go wheeling with this thing, so you'll be able to see it. I think it's going to do awesome. It's like, sits a little bit taller than Jaden's. It's a little bit shorter than Jaden's. I think it's going to perform a little bit better than Jaden's, honestly, overall. So super excited to see how it does. But yeah,
It runs.
oh, this thing has some serious power. It runs awesome. I completely forgot about that. We got it running too.
Yeah.
It didn't run when I got here. So
It's a 6.2 LS.
yeah, it's a 6.2 liter
Yeah,
LS
no.
engine. It's full aluminum. Super cool. I want this buggy. I want a buggy in general. Let me guys know what you think. Should I keep the Blazer or should I strip its parts and build a tube buggy? So we've been on the fence about it for a really long time because
You have been on the bit.
Jaden thinks I should just do it. My wife says she doesn't really care what I do. She likes the Blazer, but I don't know. I keep pushing the Blazer. It does where I take it, but there's been a couple of times where tube buggy would have been nice. So but yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and stay tuned for the next one.